The far-right talkers on TV and radio will say just about anything to attack President Obama, kicking around stuff that only makes sense in their own right-wing bubble.
This is what we have. As a president, a radical ideologue, ruthless politician who despises the country.
Invited the Muslim Brotherhood and their leadership into our White House.
The American voter has changed into a person who wants free stuff.
Please spare us your Marxist propaganda bullcrap.
But all this toxic rhetoric doesn't just go into a vacuum. Millions of people listen to these conspiracy theories and start to believe them. MSNBC contributor Jonathan Capehart found that out firsthand. He traveled to North Carolina and heard conservatives reveal their true feelings about the president. He was struck by one man in particular who repeated a lot of what we've heard on the far right, including this talking point about Muslim Brotherhood.
This was about 2 years ago. The Muslim Brotherhood had 1,000 of their people come to the East Lawn for a prayer session.
The Muslim Brotherhood
They had a huge gathering. They had prayer on the East Lawn of the White House. It was in the news. There are so many people within his administration that are a part of it. They're admitted members of the Muslim Brotherhood.
Who exactly?
I don't know their names. They're not English.
Giant Muslim prayer meetings on the East Lawn of the White House? There is no East Lawn of the White House. And the theory that the Muslim Brotherhood has infiltrated the Obama administration, it seems like a joke, but it can be traced back to the talkers and even members of Congress.
You will see that he is so deeply in bed with the Muslim Brotherhood.
Any time in any nation that they could choose the side of the Muslim Brotherhood, they've chosen the side of the Muslim Brotherhood.
This administration has so many Muslim Brotherhood members that have influence that they just are making wrong decisions for America.
And this isn't the only fringe theory about the president that's getting picked up across the country. Here's more of Jonathan's interview.
He has done so many things in violation of the Constitution.
You don't think President Obama loves this country?
Not at all. Not one bit, not one breath that comes out of his body.
This man thinks the president doesn't love this country or follow the Constitution. Now, there's no mystery where he got that idea.
This man hates this country.
He is the president of a country that clearly I'm beginning to wonder if he even likes.
The Constitution does not confer this kind of power on the president.
He's in the process of wreaking as much damage to the Constitution as he can get away with.
The right-wing talkers pour this venom into the conservative groundwater. People start to believe it, and it is totally warps our political debate. Joining me now is Jonathan Capehart, who conducted that interview. Thanks for being here, Jonathan.
Thank you, Rev.
Claiming the president doesn't love this country, that his administration has members of the Muslim Brotherhood. I mean, what was your reaction?
Well, remember, we went to Stephanie Cargill, our colleague, and I went down to North Carolina to talk to people on the eve of the launch of the healthcare exchanges, just to find out what folks thought about Obamacare and whether they liked it and how much they knew about it. And for David Jackson, the man we've seen the clips of the interview from, you know, that was the beginning of the tip of the iceberg for the amount of misinformation and conspiracy theories that he held onto. When he talked about the prayer service for 1,000 members of the Muslim Brotherhood on the East Lawn of the White House, you couldn't see my face, but I just sort of looked at it like, what? That's a story. Who was it? When was this? And he said it was on the news. But of course, we all know that that didn't happen. And as you rightly pointed out, there is no East Lawn of the White House.
It would be funny, but this is real. I mean, another conspiracy this man bought into was that Osama bin Laden wasn't really killed. Listen to this.
What about the capture and killing of Osama bin Laden?
I don't think that ever happened. No one would ever give up a SEAL team's names or what SEAL team went in there. I think that was a great mystery that they created. I do not believe they killed him. I will never believe it, especially dropping him off at sea.
Now, Jonathan, you really looked shocked there. But what was going through your mind?
Well, I mean, I heard so many things, Rev, in that interview that I thought I was on top of a lot of this stuff, but I'd never heard anyone question the killing of Osama bin Laden, adding to the list of conspiracy theories that people on the far right believe about this president.
But that's where it comes from, Jonathan, because listen to this, because it amazed me when I heard it, but listen to this.
Is it possible that Osama bin Laden has been ghosted out of his compound?
Do you believe he's dead, or do you want some more evidence, a photograph, a testimony of an eyewitness, something other than the words of a president whose words we have doubted before?
Ladies and gentlemen, this was completely staged.
I mean, this is about national security. Shouldn't be politicized. But why wouldn't they accept the truth?
You know, Rev, I don't know, other than to say that they have never liked this president, they have never trusted this president. As David Jackson told me flat out, he said, I'm not afraid of anyone, but I'm afraid of him. They don't like him, they don't trust him, and they don't believe anything that he says, even when you present them with evidence that what they're saying, what they're propagating, is not true.
Now, the man you interviewed, David Jackson, had some intense opinions about Obamacare, too. Let's listen to more of your interview.
It'll benefit a very small amount of people, and it'll be the ones that are too lazy or unwilling to work, along with the millions and millions of illegal aliens in this country. Look at them, they get food stamps, they get welfare, they get aid for dependent children, they get food, they help them with their housing, and they're not even supposed to be in our country. They want our health care, they want our food, they want our money. They don't pay taxes. And they'll look right at you and they'll tell you they no hablo de English and laugh.
I mean, we first of all know undocumented immigrants can't get insurance under the Affordable Care Act. And we hear the same talking points, though, Jonathan, about immigrants and benefits from the right wing. Listen to this.
They're encouraging illegal immigrants to apply for food stamps. In other words, you pay for it.
They represent the demographic profile the Democrats want. They want relatively poor people that depend on government for their prosperity.
Why doesn't mom just say, I need to go across so I can get the free health care at the hospital right there?
Why is it so significant that these talkers are connecting and influencing these Americans? Because the point of this is not just to expose some of the untruths this man obviously believes, but to show how these talkers and these opinion builders on the right are really sinking into really average Americans who believe this stuff.
Right. Some of the things that Rush Limbaugh or Glenn Beck or any of these other folks say might be done for entertainment purposes. We can't really know if they really believe half of the hyperbolic stuff that they say. But the problem is they've got huge audiences, and as we see with David Jackson and millions of other people, they believe it. One of the reasons why the whole birther conspiracy or birther lie was kept going for so long was because they kept whipping this up, and even with the short version of the president's birth certificate, and even after the release of the long form of the president's birth certificate, there were people who still would not believe the truth when it was staring them directly in the face.
Great interview, Jonathan Capehart. Great work. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Rev.
Tonight. And for more of Jonathan's interview, head to our Facebook page, facebook.com/politicsnation. Still ahead.